What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the second episode of the Ask Curry Show, where my main focus is to help you guys be able to not only answer your questions, but help you grow your stream and grow your brand. Because ultimately, what I want you to understand is that streaming is a business, and I want you guys to truly do what you love every single day. So this is why the show is here for. So I'm really excited for what's to come in the future. Gonna be having moments where I'm going to be having you guys come on screen to be able to share your questions and really help people resonate with you and make it more interactive. So as the weeks progress, we'll make some adjustments and have some exciting things coming. So let me go ahead and see who's here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who we have here? Bolton, what is going on? Killer, what's going on? Toxic, what is going on? Bryson, what's up? Sean is here. Fudge, what's up? Rosie, what is good with you? What's up with everybody? I'm glad everybody's here. It's early in the morning, and I hope that, this is going to allow you to be able to get your day started and crank it out and really understand that our mindsets is everything that we have. So as long as your mindset is positive and you think positive, no matter how bad a situation may come, you'll be able to progress and keep moving forward. So always remember that it's all up to you. Isaac, what is good? Extreme, what is up? What is good? What is good? Nicholas, what's up, man? The Fortnite God, what is going on? Sadly, I'm not going to be able to watch for long because I need to stream in the moment. It's all good, man. Appreciate you coming by. I'm doing this for you guys. Going good so far. So pretty much we can just strictly dive into questions. So any kind of ideas or things that you're thinking about, moves that you're trying to make for your stream, whether you should be using other platforms. Really take this time to answer some questions. And I also have some things I want to share with you guys, maybe if you haven't been thinking about doing this for your stream. So it's very important to make sure that you guys are doing everything every single day possible to be able to keep growing your stream, because at the end of the day, there's so many of us that just stream and we don't do anything else. We don't utilize social media. We don't try to expand our content and be content creators on other platforms such as YouTube. And we, in a sense, limit ourselves from being able to grow and reach that next level because we just focus on one thing, understanding that there's multiple aspects to this business. And if you want to grow it, it's definitely possible for you, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Fudge, what's going on? Courtney, what's up? Extreme, you're a YouTuber yourself. So pretty much, all right. So one of the things that I truly want to focus on, right? How many people here have a YouTube channel and are using YouTube to be able to go ahead and grow your stream? I just want to hear. Put a one in the chat if you're using YouTube to be able to grow. Okay. What capture card do you recommend? It really just depends on what you're trying to do. The Elgato is a good one. If you can't grab that, you can find multiple capture cards on eBay right now, which is the best spot to try to find them, especially because of how high priced they are. But just go to eBay and it just depends. If you're just looking to just record, then you can get a capture card that's like maybe $50, $40 if you're just looking to record your gameplay to put on YouTube. But if you're looking for to be able to stream and record, then Elgato is going to be your best bet, or Aver Media. Those are good as well. Let's see here, yeah. Trying to start out. Okay, so we got a lot of people that's here using YouTube. Ice, what's going on, my man? Doing good. So one of the things that I want to really establish and get you guys in the habit of doing, if you're not doing it already, is that content is the game, right? The more content you can put out, the more exposure you're going to get. And it's not just putting out content, right? You want to be kind of, in a sense, strategic with it. You want to make sure that you're creating content that is shareable. That's what you ultimately want, right? How do you go viral? You create content that people enjoy and that want to share with their friends and family. So that's the way for you to be able to think about it. So when you think about it, right, you sit down and you say, okay, I'm going to focus on, I stream 4 or 5 days a week. And all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set one day aside and I'm going to create content for the rest of the month. Now, you may say, yo, that's a lot of content to create, but you got to understand, once you sit down and you say, okay, I'm going to block out the next 5 hours to just producing content for me. Once you get past that first 30, 40 minutes to an hour, you start getting into a flow. right? You start becoming a lot faster. You start understanding what you want, and then you're able to plan things out. That way, when you're streaming, you have content coming out. Before you go live, you have content coming out. So if you dedicate time to do content in batch format, sit down and say, okay, what am I going to post on my IG? What am I going to post on Twitter? And you look at these platforms and you sit down and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to post every single day. I'm going to post a meme. I'm going to post a clip. I'm going to post a picture of myself. And then I'm going to post a funny moment or anything of that sort. And you sit down and you plan it out. And then you sit down and create that content. I'm going to tell you guys 2 tools, okay, that I recommend to be able to manage your social media. The first one is Hootsuite. So if somebody can just type it in the chat, the first one is Hootsuite. And the second one is Canva, right? So Canva, completely free tool. Hootsuite, completely free tool. Both of these are going to be huge key aspect to growing your business because they allow you to create systems, okay, to be able to help you with your content management. So Canva is going to allow you to be able to design your social media, right? It's going to allow you to design your quotes, edit, put words on it, completely free. There's hundreds of YouTube videos on how to use Canva to get the most out of it. You can create Instagram stories, Twitter posts, Instagram posts, Pinterest posts, anything you can think of, right? So that's a free tool to be able to design, and it's perfect for people that are not design experts. It's very opener. So I talk about it a lot. So I hope that you guys use that platform. Then Hootsuite is pretty much like a calendar for your social media. So in a sense of, when you're on Hootsuite, you can say, okay, I want this post to come out on Tuesday. I want this post to come out on Wednesday. I want this post to come out on Thursday. And you spend time, you write everything up, right? You set it up, you organize it. And then what happens is you set it, say, I want this to go live at 10 o'clock. I want this to go live at 12. Now you spent maybe 5 hours in the beginning of the week. And now you have content posting throughout all your social media constantly every single day, right? When you're a one-person streamer, you got to build systems and tools around you so that way you can continue to grow, right? There's no way that me as an individual person, I can be everywhere at one time, right? But if I dedicate time and say, okay, you know what? I want to dedicate time to my audience and be able to keep motivating them every single day, keep pushing them, keep letting them know what's going on, then what you want to do is you want to build systems. That way you can work hard to build it, and then it does the work for you throughout the week. So make sure you guys are utilizing those 2 tools to be able to go ahead and help with your social media posting, right? So another thing here is when you're constantly streaming, okay, one of the most important things that you want to focus on to be able to, because this is a question that I get asked quite frequently, is, how do I keep my audience engaged, right? How do I, when people come to my stream, how do I get them to interact? How do I get them to become followers? How do I get them to ultimately want to share and bring more people over to my stream? So one of the most important things that you want to focus on is you want to have a game plan. Okay. You do not want to hit start on your stream without understanding what's going to happen for that 3 to 4 hour time that you're streaming. Right. So almost in a sense of, think of it of this, right? When you watch a TV show, okay, whether it's like on TV, right? Pretty much every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, there's like a commercial break, right? So with that commercial break, that's how you want to think of your stream, right? So, okay, if I'm going to stream for 3 hours, okay, this is the way you guys need to be thinking about this, because then it not only increases the amount of interaction that you're able to create, but it gets you into the habit of being able to go ahead and be able to be more interactive. So what I would do when I'm streaming is that I would plan out and say, okay, every 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to ask a question that's going to create engagement, right? Every time somebody comes into the stream, I'm going to do my pitch to get them to follow. So you have to start thinking about these triggers that allow you to create this engagement, and then it automatically starts building a funnel, right? So what I want you to understand is think of questions that are broad, that people are going to go ahead and be able to interact regardless of what game you're playing, regardless of what it is that you're doing. So for example, if I come to your stream and I'm just saying that most of the time I'm not going to chat, I just want to sit back, relax, enjoy your stream and see what's going on. But you as the streamer, you're able to see a log of everybody that's there, right? So those are simple cues for you to understand of like, don't just sit there and wait for somebody to try to engage with you, right? You want to engage with them. And I said this before, right? Think of it as when somebody comes to your stream, they're walking into your business, right? Which would be a store, right? When you walk into a store, the first thing they say is, you need help with anything? Okay, if you need help with anything, go ahead and let me know, right? So it's the same kind of concept of way you treat your stream. Somebody comes in there, they may not come directly to you and engage, but it's up to you to open that door and let them know that that engagement is available, right? Hey, if it's the first time here in my stream, make sure that you hit that follow button and whatever your pitch may be, just based on what you play. For me, I ran a lot of my streams with my followers, right? A lot of people don't play with followers. A lot of people just either play competitive or just play individual games. So you really have to figure out what your pitch is. And when I say your pitch, you want to sit down and you want to write something that you can tell somebody in 30 seconds what your stream is about, what you're about, and what they can expect, right? So you sit down and you perfect this. So you do it over and over and over and over again. So that way you can continue to learn what's working. For me, the biggest thing that worked for me, this was my pitch every single time, right? Somebody will come into my stream and I will instantly say, okay, cool. This is my opportunity to be able to introduce them. Hey, what's going on? If it's your first time here, welcome to the Curry Show. If you want to run some games with me, make sure you hit the follow button and then type !next in the chat to be able to run games, right? That's what I figured out worked for me. And that's what created a lot of engagement. People would follow, people would comment next. And then what I would do is that I would have my mods. And if you have mods, I would make sure that my mods proactively, every single time somebody came in, that they introduced them and made them feel welcome, right? Because that's what you ultimately want. So if you do have mods, let them know. Say, hey, when you see somebody new come in the stream, make sure we engage them. Make sure that we make them feel welcome, right? Because you want them to feel comfortable to interact and not feel like, oh, they can't speak. And you never want to force somebody to really come out there and, force them to speak. But at the end of the day, you just want to have a system. You want to be organized. You don't want to just hit live and just go with the flow, right? You're presenting, you're entertaining, you're providing a show for your viewers. So you want to make sure that every hour, every 15 minutes, whatever the case is, that there's a structure. You're like, okay, in the beginning of the stream, I'm going to focus on this topic, or I'm going to focus on this. In the middle, we're going to switch to this game and start doing this. And when you have that plan, you're going to see that it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to flow and not have to think about what's next because you already have it planned out, right? Imagine watching your favorite show and they just went with the flow. Like, they had no idea where that episode was going to start, where it was going to end. All that stuff is played out, right? To every line, to every scene, it's all played up to build up, to leave you with that cliffhanger, so that way you keep watching the next episode. So you got to think of it your stream as a show. So let's see here. Who else come in? Garfield, what's going on? Best way to gain followers and viewers on Twitch. All right, Josh, this is a good question, right? So the best way to gain followers and viewers is really just to, you got to put in the work, right? And I know a lot of people say this constantly all the time, that you have to be on social media, but it truly is what it is that you need to do, right? You have two options, right? And you should be doing both of these, right? You should be putting out a lot of content online, a lot of content. If you're not on YouTube, you need to get on YouTube. If you don't know how to do YouTube, you need to figure out YouTube, right? You got to understand that you have to be where the people are, right? You can't expect people to just find you in one location, right? So if there's a massive amount of people on YouTube, why wouldn't you be on YouTube? If there's a massive amount of people on TikTok, why wouldn't you be on TikTok, right? And I think so often we don't go on these platforms, one, because we feel uncomfortable. It's something that we don't understand. But just like everything else, when you first started streaming, you didn't understand streaming, right? But you love it so much that you're willing to go through the process to be able to learn it. So if I told you that if you focus on YouTube and you focus on these social platforms, regardless if in the beginning you're not good, that later on it's going to pay a lot for you, because you got to understand that a lot of people found me from YouTube, right? That's the reason why I started getting on YouTube, right? When I started streaming on Mixer, right, and I was going through that whole process, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm learning this all by myself. Like, there's really not a lot of content out there showing this. I said, let me make these videos to show people like what I've really have spent the last few hours trying to figure out. And with that, it gave me an amount of exposure that I would have never gotten if I would have just streamed on Mixer. So you have to understand that if you space yourself out and stop like thinking too much into it, right? Like I think that so many times we wait for things to be perfect and then we just don't dive in. Like, oh, I can't start my YouTube channel until I got a better camera. I can't start my YouTube channel until I got a microphone, or I can't start my YouTube channel until I learn how to do thumbnails. Like, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, all right, there's 3 things that you want to focus on. 3 things, okay? And one of them is, I mean, it's okay if you don't know it, it's okay. You want to learn how to create good titles and create good thumbnails. Okay. 2 most important things that you want to learn, right? So you want to go to Canva and you want to type in thumbnails and you want to look what thumbnails are there. Figure it out. You want to go to Skillshare, right? Skillshare is again another tool, okay, that's completely free for 2 months. Okay. 2 months. After the 2 months, if you want to keep it, it's like $99 for the year, but it gives you access to an unlimited amount of courses, right? They have courses on there showing you how to create good thumbnails. If you want to be a designer and anything you can think about when it comes to marketing, come to promotion. Like, I feel like so often we ask the same questions of like, how do I get more followers? How do I get more viewers? How do I grow my stream? The only way for you to do that is to increase your skill set, right? You got to become better to be able to grow. So you really got to understand that you have to go ahead and evolve yourself as a person so you can bring more to the table, so you understand that there's multiple ways to be able to grow it. So like if you're contemplating anything and you're not seeing the growth that you want on your stream, then what you want to do is you want to focus and take a step back and say, okay, all right, what is out of all the social media platforms out there right now, which one am I the most comfortable with? Okay, cool. Number 1. All right, which is the next most comfortable? Okay, number 2. And then start using systems to be able to make it easy for you to be able to post out there. Spend 5 hours and record 2 or 3 videos, 4 videos, and post 1 a week. Now you got the whole month of content put out there, but I feel like so often we try to do everything last minute, which then creates a sense of stress, which then creates a sense of I don't have enough time, which then creates a sense of time like I'll do it when I can. And then it never gets done. And I think that's why we don't see the progression that we want to see. So let's see here. Doing good, getting some coffee. Daily Hootsuite. Hootsuite is just a calendar where you can post and organize your social media content. So let's say, for example, I wanted to post something on Instagram every single day for the next month. I would use that calendar to plan it out and then post it. So that way it automatically does it for me. That way I can't always remember like, okay, at this certain time, I got to stop and make a post. This helps you keep organized and stay on top of your content. All right, let's see here. Daily stream, a good idea. It really depends, right? If you're a big streamer that's already established and you have a huge audience, then a daily stream is going to work for you, right? Because your audience is going to expect it. You have what's out there, and really a majority of your time is going to spend streaming. But if you're just starting, I always recommend that you focus on doing less days streaming and more days building your business. So that would be, for example, I always say three days is a good starting point. Okay. So pick 3 days that work for you. Doesn't have to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As long as you communicate and be consistent with that schedule. And then I would spend the other 4 days in this example, building your business, right? I would sit there and learn, how to be a better communicator. I would learn, how to build my Twitter, how to build my Instagram, right? How to create engaging content, right? How to go ahead and repurpose your streams to be able to get more views. And, I would spend those 4 days building my skills to be able to become a better content creator, to be a better streamer. Because then when you start learning those skills, when you go live, you're not saying, okay, I'm just going live to play the game. You're like, okay, cool. I'm about to go live because I'm about to create content from other platforms. So then, to be a little bit more interactive, be a little bit more upbeat. You do a nice play in the game. You add emotion to it, right? Because you know that once you're done with the stream, you're going to go ahead and take that content and put it elsewhere. So that way people know who you are. And when you're clipping, all right, this leads me to this question. When you're creating clips for your stream, don't focus so much on the clip. Focus more on you and your personality. Highlight you as the streamer, because otherwise, if you're just highlighting a clip, what's different about any other clips that are out there, right? But what's unique about your content is you. You're the unique factor. You're what's different. You're what's going to set you apart, right? Like that's totally it. And so when you start realizing that you are the show, you are the reason why people come see you, then you start putting yourself up front and not feeling bad of like, oh, I don't want to steal the attention. You got to understand, like, this is your business. This is your brand. Put yourself out there and let people connect with you. And then that way, if they enjoy the game as well, that's a plus. So focus on less time streaming, more time building, because at the end of the day, if you can go ahead and build on these other platforms, it's going to give you opportunity to be able to generate more revenue. You know, when I first started my YouTube channel, my thoughts of like, wasn't like, oh, I'm going to make money, right? But I was earning more, okay, just creating content on YouTube and streaming on Mixer than I was without even being a partner, right? So it's understanding like if money is your goal, then you need to think of it a little bit different and realize that going for affiliate, going for partnership doesn't give you the funds and money that you're looking for right out of the gate. So you got to think about, okay, how much money I need to make every single month to be able to cover my expenses. Okay, cool. Where can I go and be on to be able to make money, right? Start building on YouTube. You start building on Instagram. You start going to Reddit and start creating forums and getting yourself known out there. And then guess what happens? Over time, people start reaching out to you and saying, hey, we see that you create this kind of content. We would love for you to post this kind of video. And then you start building a brand. And then from there, you start making money because you look at all these streamers, right? Sponsored by G Fuel, sponsored by Astro Gaming, sponsored by, gaming chair companies. And look at Dr. Lupo. Sponsored by State Farm, or like, he's built a brand around him, and that's what you want, right? You want to be the honey. You don't want to be the bee. You don't want to be the one going out there looking for partnerships. You want the partnership and the brand deals to come to you because of what you're doing online. So it's very important. Okay. Make sure your face pops up everywhere. People are talking about games. Exactly. You want to make sure that you're out there. Let's see here. What we got? Okay. Wake up with determination and go to sleep with satisfaction, 100%. All right, question. We're supposed to do different things so we are unique and people watch you. But if something that everyone is doing really good, do I do that or keep being unique? I feel like if you're doing something that a lot of people are doing good, right? There's always room for improvement. You got to understand that nothing's ever perfect. So if they're doing something really good, it's automatically going to be unique because your personality is not the same as someone else, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, don't try to hide who you are, right? If you're somebody that's funny, right? If you're somebody that's outgoing, somebody that just truly enjoys, being you, then figure out the trends. Figure out what's working, because that's very important, right? That's making sure that you're staying up to date with what's going in your industry. You're doing research, you're being knowledgeable, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to recreate the wheel, right? If people are doing something that works, you can follow that trend, but then add your touch to it. And it's just about you, right? Like take for example, right? Your picture on YouTube, right? That's different, right? It can showcase your personality and who you are. So if you invoke that and showcase who you are throughout your content, then it automatically makes you unique, no matter how many times people are doing that same kind of content. All right, let's see here. Nikki, what's going on? How do I keep my viewers feeling involved in my stream? So really it's creating an engagement, right? And the only way you can create engagement on your stream so they feel involved is, all right, you can go ahead and let them know, ask questions, right? To make them feel involved. You can have them participate in building out your stream, right? So you can go ahead and let them know, say, hey, I've been thinking about, doing this on my stream. What do you guys prefer, A or B, right? The more involved they are with creating your show, the more they're going to get embedded and become more loyal to your following. So that's really, it's just about engagement, right? If you can go ahead and make sure that you're constantly thinking about your viewers, what I would do at the same time, and I don't know if you guys do this now, right? When I have a conversation, when somebody comes to my stream and I have a conversation with them, right? I always have a little book with me, right? When I'm streaming, I have it open and I have a pen And simply what I do is that, let's say, for example, Nikki, you came into my stream. First time I met you, we start talking and you're like, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to come by and see your stream. And then I'm going to go ahead and it's my dog's birthday. And, it's going to be it. So I would instantly write down Nikki, dog's birthday, and I put a date, right? You may never come back. Right. But I always have my notes here. And then that way, when you come back and I was like, oh man, so I know that you left before you celebrated your dog's birthday. How was it? And you know what that ultimately does? It lets people know that you care. It lets people know that you're listening, and then you start building a better relationship. And then you start realizing that those are the kind of relationships that you want to have with your viewers, because when you do that, that's what makes them want to keep coming by, right? Because ultimately people come to streams and watch them live because they want to get the live engagement. So just focus on that, create games, ask questions, ask them for input on how to create your content better. What games do you guys want to play? And I feel like if you do a collaboration like that, it's gonna ultimately increase the amount of exposure that you'll get. Let's see here. Question. Hey, bro, I really struggle with video editing due to having ADHD. So trust me, I got ADHD as well. So YouTube is out. What other ways can I diversify? I've made a few TikToks and I'm thinking of merchandising. So pretty much, right? When it comes to first video editing, right? It's not easy, but I think that we also complicate it as well, right? There's a lot of free tools to be able to edit, even if you don't have no editing experience. You don't need to get Adobe. That's a little bit more complex, right? So I think that for me, because I struggle with ADHD as well, so trust me, I'm just all over the place, okay? So with that, one of the things you can do, all right, if you have the funds, okay, you can hire somebody off of Fiverr to edit your YouTube videos for $5-10. Okay, so that automatically eliminates that right there. Okay, so for $5-10, you can get somebody to edit your videos in a very basic cut, go forward, and then it doesn't limit you from creating content on YouTube. But if you don't want to create your own content on YouTube, which you should try to overcome that battle as much as possible, because YouTube is going to give you the most growth. But if you're utilizing TikTok, right, with TikTok, the game there is that you have to put a lot of content out. You have to put content, like putting one TikTok a day or one TikTok every other day. Currently, right now, it's just not going to work. So you have to just like max it out. Like maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, you could have kind of gotten away with that kind of posting schedule, but now it's just being in flux. So you got to post constantly, like 4 or 5 times a day, right? To see what works, because there's going to be content you put out that's a hit and it doesn't go. So when you're thinking about merchandise, right? So I see where your mind is going, right? You're looking to diversify to be able to create a source of income. So when I think about merchandise, I try to, if you have an audience, I will let your audience build out your merchandise, right? Or I would start out with one piece of product, but you first have to, and I think that the question you got to ask yourself is, what is your goal, right? What are you trying to accomplish? Because once you understand what you're trying to accomplish, like if your goal is to like, okay, I want to focus on making money right now, right? And there's a different road that you got to take. If you're focusing like, I'm trying to build my brand and build my audience, that's also a different road that you got to take. So you have to first establish, right? Because for me, it seems like you want to do both, which is good. But in order for you to get the money, right, you got to kind of focus on first building yourself out, right? So I wouldn't think about building out merchandise or putting anything out like that unless you truly like need the funds and like, okay, cool, I got to hustle, I got to make it happen. But otherwise, I would try to get a video editor, right? $5-10. You don't have to do 5-6 videos a week, 4 videos a month. Okay. You can probably get away with finding somebody that can do basic cuts and basic edits, stuff like that for $20 a month on Fiverr. Okay. And then from there, now you have content, right? And you can learn about that. Utilize Instagram, right? Utilize Instagram, utilize Twitter. And I think that Twitter is something that a lot of people fall asleep on, because that's where a lot of the streamers are at. That's where a lot of viewers are at as well. A lot of people that are talking about games and Reddit. So if I had to tell you right now, to answer your question, Ryan, okay, if you had to focus on certain platforms to be able to build your audience and be able to get feedback quick to understand what's going to work and what's not, I would focus on YouTube. If YouTube's out the picture, go heavy on Reddit. Reddit, get on Reddit. get on Reddit, get on Reddit. You have Instagram, and then you have Twitter, and then TikTok. TikTok is also a great one. The game here is like, you're not trying to focus on like I'm putting out content here to get followers, right? Like, can't think like that, right? I'm putting out content because I want to be seen and heard. And even if one person comes from TikTok, one person comes from YouTube, one person comes from Instagram, one person comes from Twitter, that's still one person that you wouldn't have had exposure to if you didn't put content out on those platforms. So that's the only reason why I say diversify and put content on every single platform, regardless if you don't know how to utilize it. Once you're in the game, once you're playing, you will start seeing results, right? I got into YouTube. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I didn't know what titles was. I didn't know what, keywords. I didn't know about, search. I didn't know about thumbnails. I didn't know about any of that stuff, right? But until you're in the game, you're not going to be able to put in the time to be able to learn it. And as soon as I got into the game, then I knew, okay, I got to learn this. I got to learn this. I got to learn this. And I think so many times we lack patience. So we're not willing to go through that struggle to then be able to grow and figure out a platform. But trust me, man, if you got ADHD, that's not something that should stop you. Just figure out ways to get around it. Hey, dude, how do you communicate to your chat? To communicate to your chat, I mean, I don't know if that question is a little bit broad, but ultimately, if you're not live, right? If you got a Discord channel, if you got a Facebook group, if you got social media, engage with your viewers there, especially your loyals, right? So if you know that people are coming in consistently into your stream, you have a group of people that come in, right? Write down those people's name and say, you know what? Every single day, I'm going to spend 15 minutes and I'm going to go ahead and check out their social accounts. I'm going to engage with their content. I'm going to comment, right? Because that's the least that you can do, right? These are people that are coming to spend time with you. Now, it's not an obligation to be able to do that. But I think that if you guys ultimately care about the people that are coming to your stream and you want them to become loyal following, then the least you can do is spend a little bit of time of your day engaging and showing support on their content as much as possible. Because then what happens is they feel that you appreciate them, right? Like, because if you don't appreciate them, then they literally can just come and go at any point. And then to them, they feel like they're just a viewer coming in your stream. So pay close attention and keep building relationship with your core audience. And then from there, you can expand. So the best way to communicate is just to, really engage them offside the platform and then be real interactive inside the game. If you play competitive and you're not able to talk every second of the moment, in the downtime if you're dead, if you're switching between maps, switch to your chatting soon screen, switch to your intermission screen, and spend that little bit of time engaging and building rapport, because they know that you're a competitive player. They know that you play a game at a high level. So when you are able to spend those 5 minutes in between games to be able to engage with them, it makes them feel welcomed. Okay. Let's see here. What is up, man? Any tips for streaming without a webcam? You got to be real vocal. If you're streaming without a webcam, you want to make sure that you are as vocal as possible and you bring out high level of energy. I know that with, a lot of the DMCA stuff going on with music and things like that sort, there's a limit on the kind of music you're able to play, but utilize music, even if it's just background music, beats and things of that sort. You utilize those things to be able to kind of set the tone for the emotion you want on your stream, right? Because every kind of music makes you feel a certain kind of way, right? There's music right now that you listen to that makes you sad. You'd be like, this is pretty sad, right? Or there's music that makes you happy or that helps you get focused. So you got to utilize that, okay? Utilize your voice, right? Your engagement, your questions, right? And then also like your alerts and the things that pop up on stream and the games that you're playing. So when you don't have a webcam, it's hard to say, if I'm like talking about something right now, right? If I'm just talking and I have no webcam, I'm gonna be like this, like, yo, so yeah, we're about to play this game right here. It's a lot different. So your voice is all you have, right? To where it's like, if I'm talking to you right now, you see I'm upbeat, but also you see my facial expressions, right? You see how I feel about the words that I'm saying. So that's the benefit of having a webcam. But when you don't, all you have is your voice, your chat, and then if you have mods, if you don't have no webcam, you should really have a nice bot build out. Right. And when I say a bot, right. So once again, I'm very big onto systems, and things that you can create into systems are going to help you become a better streamer. So if you just have a bot that just simply focuses on followers and alerts and just pushing out your social media, then you're not really utilizing that bot to its full potential, right? Sit down and say, okay, you know what? These are the 5 questions that I want to happen, or maybe I want this engagement to happen here, or these triggers. Utilize your bot as a human, okay, and make them create engagement for you as well. That way you piggyback off of each other, right? Maybe have certain games pop up and play. One of the biggest things I used to do on my stream is that I made it a thing to where the points that you would acquire, or create a currency system, which bots allow you to do this, to where it makes people want to engage, right? We played a lot of games that created a currency system that they were able to take that currency that they earned during that month to be able to buy either merchandise, to be able to turn it in for cash, right? Those are the things that I would do. And when you create those kind of environments in the beginning, it's slow, right? Take for example, I just started doing the Ask Curry show. This is episode number 2, right? I'm not expecting to have an influx of people coming in here, right? But I know that over time, if I keep being consistent, if I keep showing up, if I keep using my systems, eventually more and more people are going to know about what's happening. So you have to think about it in the same way. But if you don't have a webcam, your voice is all you have. Okay. Love this guy. Yo, Sly Guy, what's going on? Let's see here. So I've been stuck at 0 views for about 2 months now. I've been streaming every day and I don't get any growth. How do I get consistent viewers? So pretty much the first thing that I would tell you is that stop streaming every single day. If you are going to stream every single day, and you most likely can, limit yourself to 1 to 2 hours, okay, of streaming every single day. Because you're not seeing any growth because you're spending too much time just streaming. And when you're streaming, you can't be promoting. You can't be putting out content. You can't be doing these things that ultimately get people to get you exposure. Twitch is a big platform. Facebook is a big platform, right? YouTube is a big platform. So it's very hard to be found just by being on that platform. So you going live, those days are gone, right? Those days are gone where you can just simply go live and get an influx of people to come find you, right? So the only way for you to be able to pass that threshold, and first off, like, you should never be at 0 viewers, right? You should always watch your stream. When I first started streaming, it's not hacking the system, but in a sense of like, you got to do whatever you can to be able to get exposure, so that way you do have an audience to speak to, right? When I first started streaming, I would watch my stream on my phone. I would watch my stream on my computer. I would tell my boys, say, yo, turn your phone on. I don't even care if you don't even watch it. Because at the end of the day, I knew that the way streaming works is that it's based on how many views you have is how high you get. So when I first started out, I'm like, okay, I need as many people as possible so I can bump up, get exposure, so then they can see who I am, they can get my personality, and then from there, it's my job to reel them in, right? And after the first month, I no longer needed to watch my own stream. I no longer needed to tell my friends to come in, right? But they gave me that initial boost to get exposure to 10 real people, and then those 10 real people truly were committed to the stream, and then from 10, it went to 20, and then up, and then up, and then up. So if you're sitting at 0 viewers, that means you're not putting in enough time outside of your stream to be able to grow and gain exposure. Okay. Hey, no doubt, Illusion. All right, have a good night. Oh, it's nighttime over there. Okay, it's early in the morning over here. I appreciate you coming by. Let's see here. That's what I'm gonna say. Make a burn account to get those numbers up and tell your friends. Yeah, 100%. You got to do whatever you can to be able to grow, and you got to be resourceful as possible, right? Like, so often we focus on like, I need the best equipment. I need the best this, the best that. I can't operate without that. But you know what I mean? Since I was a little boy, right? And I was able to, you know what I mean, understand that you really got to put in the work. Like, use what you have, and utilize that to grow, right? We all have a cell phone, right? You don't have a webcam, turn your cell phone into a webcam. You don't have a computer, okay, no problem. Stream directly from your console. But don't allow those things to limit you, because at the end of the day, if you truly want this, right? Oh, I don't have a cell phone. You know how many times I have people tell me, I don't have a cell phone to be able to use social media. I don't have a computer to be able to do that. Okay, great. You don't have those things, but I'm sure you know somebody who does, right? Go to them. Say, hey, can I borrow your phone for 20 minutes so I can get on Twitter, so I can get on Instagram, right? Like, you're just not when you want it bad enough, right, you become a no matter what person, which truly is who I am, right? When every time I start a business, whenever time I'm going to start something, I never say, okay, cool, before I start this, I need to spend $2,000 to get started. I'll be like, no, you know what I mean? There's one business that I have, okay? There's one business that I have that I don't even have a website. I don't have a website. I don't have no social media, nothing. The only way that we communicate and I make money from that business is via email. That's it. Email is free. And it's really understanding that when you keep things simple and you focus on like, okay, I'm just going to start doing this. I'm going to start streaming with what I got. Cool. Do I like it? Great. All right. What's the next thing I need? Okay, cool. We start building and you just start there. But I feel like so often there's so many of us that just don't start because we just overcomplicate things. We want perfection and we overcomplicate it. And it's just like, it's simple. Just hit the live button and you'll learn. You'll learn. We all start out bad before we get good. And I think that it's one of the most important things that you need to be done. I've been using Fiverr a lot. It's great. I got some sub emotes made on there and I'm currently working on the logo. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Fiverr is a great platform to be able to go ahead and get things done, especially for a low cost, right? So you're not always going to find great work on there, but you go through that and you figure out what, like every day, pretty much, not every day, but I do go on Fiverr pretty much once a week. And I say, okay, what's on my schedule for this week? What is something that I can give to somebody else to do that's going to make me more effective? So I try to just go on Fiverr and look at things that maybe, you know what I mean, if I had the time, I would do it. But otherwise, it's more beneficial for me to pay somebody to do this task for me because I'm able to focus on other things. So when you think about your content creation like that, which you think of your stream as a business, you start thinking about like, okay, what are the things that I got to do every single day to be able to grow my stream? Okay, cool. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. If you don't have any money to be able to invest into the stream right now, then you have to do everything that you put down. But don't just put things down to put things down. Focus on the things that are going to actually move your stream forward first. Those are the most important things, right? Okay, you have your Twitch stream set up, you have your banners, you have your alerts, you have all your stuff in there, you have your setup, right? And then from there you say, okay, look, let me focus on this. Let me focus on Twitter. We just focus on Twitter this month and post on Twitter and get engagement on there and start growing. And then from there you start building. But think about creating systems. I think it's so important. Okay. All right. Appreciate you coming by. That's exactly what happened to me. I decided I'm done with excuses and became a no matter what person. Great advice. That's it. Because nobody's going to want it more than you. Nobody's going to want to go after it, more than you, right? That's like telling somebody, I mean, if you have a dog or you have kids and you want somebody else to love your kids as much as you do, it's harder, right? Like it's tough. So you got to understand that it never gets easier, right? Like YouTube's going to be YouTube. It's not going to get easier. You just become better, right? That's all it is. These platforms don't change, right? As time goes on, the platforms just get more difficult to get exposure. Things change. You have to learn new things. But if you're constantly trying to become better, then you're going to see the results. And there's something that I read the other day. It was like every single day, you're either doing two things. You're either growing or you're dying. And that's it, right? So at the end of the day, if you know those are your two options, right? You're either growing or you're dying, then you should always focus on growing. Like there should be no other option, because if you're dying, that means you're not doing anything. You're not trying to improve yourself. You're not trying to evolve. And I feel like when we change our mindset from just being like small-minded and, talking down on ourselves, because we are our biggest source of, what we're able to do. So if you're constantly telling you, I can't do this is too difficult, this is complicated, then what you're doing is you're putting that thing out there in the universe that you can't do something. And what's going to happen is, right, if you want money and all you do is talk about not having money, you're just not going to have money. So if you talk about having money and you envision yourself having money and you envision yourself being a successful streamer, you envision yourself being a successful content creator on YouTube, then you will achieve those things. But when you do the opposite, that's why you don't see no growth. That's why you hit that roadblock where you want to quit, because it's what you're constantly telling yourself, and that's what you're putting out there. That's what you're going to get. So focus on what you want and put that out there, and you'll start getting it. Oh, no doubt, Blade. Appreciate you coming by. Let's see here. What if I could hold a good schedule? Will that impact my growth, and how can I avoid or fix that? What if I can't hold a good schedule? Okay. So if you can't hold a good schedule, then pretty much at that point, it's going to be harder for you to grow. So what you have to rely on is content. Okay. So you have to rely on posting content on the platforms, because if you can't stream, okay, on a certain schedule, you can go ahead and set aside 2 to 3 hours to be able to create content to post out throughout the week. Okay. So when you're limited on your stream, then it comes like your streams become like more of an event, right? More like a special occasion until you can figure out, what's going to work out best for you. And also, you shouldn't be trying to stream every single day. So if you're able to stream once a week, right, and you're able to do that consistently, then that's better than, being more random. At least people know that you're going to be there at least that one single day. But when you can't hold a consistent schedule, your content is going to be the most important thing. I've talked about it before. 2 tools that I recommend: Hootsuite and Canva. Hootsuite and Canva. Use those 2 together to be able to help you promote your social media accounts as much as possible. And then from there, that's all you have. At least from there, if you're building an audience on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, then what happens is when you go to stream, you can send a message out to that audience on that platform, and they'll come and check you out. But really, just content on the platform is what you're going to be able to use to be able to grow. Let's see here. I'm thinking of merch as sort of a side hustle, not directly linked to my stream, but more towards my community. I'm thinking if I get a cool logo, people will want to wear the merch regardless. So one of the biggest things that you can do, and it's great that you're building a side hustle, because you want to space out your income and you want to be able to generate money multiple ways. As starting a merch store, the best thing you want to do is do a poll, right? If you have people out there that you already have an idea of who you're going to be selling to, go ahead and before you invest money in getting things designed, right? Go ahead and ask your audience, like, what are some cool designs that you want to see? Or, hey, if I put the logo on a shirt, would you guys want to buy it, right? How much are you guys willing to pay for this kind of shirt? Or, and then from there, you're able to then, one, figure out the right designs that you want, right? Figure out the right company you want to use to be able to sell your t-shirts, right? So that way it falls in line with the price that your audience is trying to pay, and then do pre-orders for there. But I feel like when you're creating something that you like, it's sometimes a little bit harder to sell because it simply is something that you like. When you create something that other people like and other people want, it's a lot easier to sell it because they already have an interest in it. So if you are going that route, and you do have an audience on platforms or anything like that, I would even go to Reddit forums, right? And comment on there and see what options you have and what you can get. Because ultimately, when you have an audience and people that want something, it's easier to sell. Let's see here. Okay. How do you feel about Facebook gaming so far? I noticed that mobile gaming is doing great on that platform. So mobile gaming has been the focus for a long time since Facebook launched, is dedicated towards that. Because if you think about it, the audience that's on Facebook gaming really is from like third world countries, the Philippines, Asia, China, India, and things of that sort. So the amount of resources that they have is really, they're mobile, right? So a lot of mobile gaming is what that's based upon. Now you have to understand that Facebook is growing. I would never count out Facebook, because if you understand how Facebook works, if you spend time learning how to advertise on Facebook, it's a huge opportunity, because they have a lot of tools that, because people feel that the interface and how you interact with Facebook gaming, it's a little bit difficult right now. It's okay, right? Because they're working on improving it. So I honestly feel YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch are the biggest player in the game, and they will continue to evolve. So you have to understand that with Facebook, it is going to move over to PC and console, but mobile gaming is huge. Okay, like mobile gaming is not decreasing, it's increasing. Okay, and it's only going to continue to increase simply because of the fact of how we are as humans, right? We want things on the go. Think about Xbox, right? They're talking about launching Project X. Project X is going to be where you can take your mobile phone and literally be anywhere and turn it into a gaming console. So literally, if you're going on vacation, all you need is your phone and your controller, and literally you can pop up and play the game anywhere you're at. So think about that, right? Like mobile gaming is not going anywhere. It's actually going to continue to increase, and you're going to see a high volume influx of it on all platforms, simply because the ease of use and the way things are moving. But if you're on Facebook gaming right now, one of the biggest things that I can tell you is that switching games frequently hurts you. Okay, when you're starting to grow, right? Because if you stream Apex and then you decide to go to Call of Duty, most of the time right now, the way Facebook is designed is that it won't tell your audience that followed you for Apex that you're playing Call of Duty, right? So if you're, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times you'll be like, man, I had a lot of viewers when I was doing Apex. Now I went to COD. Like, where did everybody go? It's because Facebook's not notifying those kind of people because it's not the audience that's following your channel. So when you're first starting out on Facebook gaming, stick to a game. Focus on the growth on there, and then it's really about engagement. On Facebook gaming, the description that you put on your live is by far the most important, and then getting really good at creating clips and content. But I don't see mobile gaming dying off on Facebook gaming. It's only going to continue to grow, and you'll start seeing more of a growth on Twitch and on YouTube as well. Let's get it. Okay, let's see here. Give audience a poll to figure out the best direction for a merch store, 100%. Yep. Let's see here. Says mobile gaming is definitely increasing. If you're a mobile gamer, you need to be on Facebook gaming. Yes, 100%. If you play mobile games, Facebook is the platform that you want to be on 100% because it's ultimately going to give you the most growth. And you know, I mean, it's a little bit difficult. I've played some mobile games here and there. I play Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, things of that sort. It's pretty fun. But at the end of the day, if it's something you enjoy, another thing too is retro games. So if you're a retro game player, okay, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all work for you, okay? Because each platform, now YouTube has more of a mixed audience, but like Twitch has an older audience, right? People that would understand what those retro games are. Facebook has an older audience as well. People that understand, you know what I mean, what those retro games are. Donkey Kong, Mario, Rayman, you know, all Pac-Man, all these games that as the people that are in that bracket right now on Twitch between 24 to 35 would understand what those games are, and you have an opportunity for them to come and follow you and check you out because they're reliving their childhood memories, right? Pokemon cards are big right now. Yu-Gi-Oh cards are big right now. Baseball cards are big right now. Basketball cards. So you got to understand that pretty much history always replays itself, right? So if you have a passion for those things, you can start doing those things now. And maybe right now they don't have the amount of exposure, but I guarantee you that over time, we are going to go back to that point of where like trading cards was big. Playing card games was big. So, you know, I mean, I remember back in the day collecting Pokemon cards, collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you know, and just literally, you know, don't even know. I probably have boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards out there that probably now are worth a lot more money or going to potentially be worth a lot more money because people are getting back into it. So let's see here. Let's see. So yeah, but pretty much that's truly what you want to focus on. So if I could leave you guys with this last thing for this week and what you should focus on, right, is focus on the things that are going to help your stream grow, right? So if you've been contemplating on utilizing social media, then get on there, right? Like spend time on YouTube, right? How do you create engaging Instagram posts, right? How do you create engaging gaming clips, right? This content is out there already, right? Think about the kind of questions that you're asking and then go out there and learn the skills that you need to learn, right? When you're a streamer, there's multiple things you got to learn, right? Like you're just not a streamer, right? You're a great communicator. You're an entertainer, right? You're a gamer, right? You're a social media expert. You're a content creator. Like there's so many skill sets you need to learn as a streamer that you can't just focus on going live. And I think that's so often. So what I challenge you guys to do this week is to pick one skill, okay, that you want to learn, one skill that's going to help you grow your stream, and focus at least 30 minutes every single day to that skill every single week. And you'll see that you'll start to evolve, and you'll see that translate into your streaming, into the way you interact, into the way that you're building your brand, because ultimately that's what you want to do. Let's see here. You mentioned playing multiple games on Facebook can hurt. That wouldn't apply on Twitch, right? Because there's no real recommendations on Twitch. Yeah. So on Twitch, you're fine. with, really truly playing different games, especially, it does hurt a little bit because depending if you're playing a game that your audience doesn't enjoy, but Twitch, that's the biggest issue that they have right now, right? That there's no way to really get recommended for those certain kind of games, and only people that are following you get notified. They need to have a better discoverability system, right? They should allow you to be able to search based on clips and content that you create and things of that sort. You can be found. But if you're on Twitch and you're playing different games, I would be more focused on like, is my audience liking this game rather than like, am I going to play this game and get more viewer, right? It's a lot easier to keep building the audience that you have than it is to acquire new people. So if you can hone in and double down on the audience you already have, they will become your walking referrals and tell people about your stream, and that will give you more exposure. But it's not going to hurt you the same way as it would on Facebook. Okay. Let's get it. Okay. Video idea. Your favorite DMCA free music site. That is, there's really not a lot of them, but it is a great video. And I think that would be good because I feel like a lot of us, we struggle, especially on Facebook and YouTube, which they're two very strict platforms, don't allow you to use a lot of music on there. Sly Guy, appreciate that super chat, man. I appreciate that sticker. Appreciate it. Appreciate the donation, man. It's definitely not needed, but definitely enjoy it. Let's see here. The challenge for this week. Okay. One skill to boost your stream. If you commit to that, you will see. And the one that I would focus on, right? If you're not in there, is learn how to be a good communicator. So there's videos on YouTube on how to better communicate, right? How to be more engaging, how to use words to be able to move people. And I feel like if you're able to start understanding like why people engage, why people respond, and how you can be a better communicator, you'll see that most of the time when you're streaming, you're doing talking, right? So if you're able to talk better and create better excitement with your words, then you'll create a more exciting stream and be able to retain your viewers a lot better. Okay. Let's see here. Sean, I appreciate that super chat. Appreciate it. No, my pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Really appreciate y'all. Let's see here. Saturated games is what's best for Facebook. There's really no such thing as a saturated game, right? It's just competitive. That's really all it is. So you shouldn't see a game that's super like has a lot of views in there as a game that like I'm not gonna play because I'm not gonna get exposure to it, right? You want to go where the people are at and figure out how to get in front of them, right? That's what you got to do. So it's okay to dive into that saturated game. Just spend a little bit of time looking at what the top streamers are doing, how they're engaging, what kind of conversations are happening in the chat, right? And then what kind of titles are they using? What kind of descriptions are they using on Facebook, right? You can literally go in and click on the people's profile that are commenting and see what they like, right? Okay, cool. This person, they follow this person. They like this stuff, right? It's all about doing recon. Once you understand the kind of audience that's on that game and what makes them follow a streamer and what are some things that a streamer does to keep them engaged and things of that sort, you start setting yourself apart, and then you become one of the top middle tier streamers in that game to be able to gain exposure. Okay. Probably now my favorite person on YouTube, Big Moves, helping us small folks. So Sly Guy, I'm trying to do my best. I really appreciate you guys. Every week, I'm going to try to incorporate this. I want to start bringing you guys on the actual live by doing a Zoom call or just inviting you directly to the live. I'm going to have a few streamers coming on here to share their story because I know a few people that literally 1 year of focus of like starting from sitting in a lawn chair to, streaming on an Xbox to where they're at now. I think we'll share a lot of insight and give you guys a lot of motivation to be able to keep pushing forward by hearing other people that have started where you're currently at and have made it to where you're trying to go. And I think it's always great to not only hear things from my point of view, but from other people's point of view, because we all have different perspectives. So if you guys are interested in coming on the live and asking your questions live and things of that sort. Just send me a message on Instagram, on Twitter, anywhere that you guys follow me. And then I'll be sure to go ahead and invite you and let you know kind of what to expect. And then we can kind of have you on the show, and then you can kind of give your perspective and maybe educate some people on things you know that worked for you that can help other people grow their stream. Because I think that there's a lot of things that I may know, but there's things that you know that have worked for you and I haven't experienced, but it could help a lot of people if you were just able to share that. So I think that it would be that it would be great. Let's see here. Question. Do you have any videos on setting up a green screen for a stream? I don't have any videos on setting up a green screen. Are you talking about more like, so when it comes to your green screen, right? There's 3 things you want to focus on, and I'll tell you really quick. And it's probably something I can make a video on because that's a good question. So when you set up your green screen, you want to make sure that it's completely lighted, right? You don't want to wear any white. You don't want to wear any white or light colors because the light reflects and you might see green on your shirt. So that's why you see yourself being pixelated. So make sure you have good light shining across the whole green screen. If you're doing it to where you're not buying an official green screen, then what you want to do is you want to get clamps and stretch it out as much as possible so it's smooth. And then from there, inside OBS, like I said, it's just a quick, inside OBS, you just simply hit chroma key, turn it green. As long as everything else that you did prior to that is good, it's proper lighting, you don't have anything green or anything that kind of reflects green, all dark colors, you'll be fine and you'll be able to see that. And then like if you wanted to make a green screen into like a crazy background, saying you're in the middle of New York City on the middle of Brooklyn Bridge, you can do that. But I think that would be a good video topic to be able to make. Oh my God, you follow my mixer, remember? Yo, Max, what's up, my man? What's up? What's going on with you, man? Glad to see you here. Let's see. That's crazy. Seeing true story. I love that idea. Yeah, it's going to be great. So I'm actually going to be reaching out to a few people, trying to build a list, right? In the beginning, when you're just starting out, I got to go out there and get them, right? As we grow, maybe people will start asking to be on the show, which would be great. But this is ultimately what I want to do. I want to make this very community centric. Would love to jump on and talk with YouTube with you. Hey, listen, if you want to be on Garfield, let me know. Send me a message and then let's set up a date. I have next Tuesday. I'm have a special guest on for next Tuesday. So if the Talent Tuesday after that, you want to jump on, come on. I'm with it because I feel like there's a lot of different experiences that we can get from that. I think it'll be good. Let's see here. Learn the hard way with that. Yeah, right. Good deal. Thank you. Yeah, no doubt, man. Took the green screen pics one time and everyone had a green shirt on. Yeah. Yo, look, it's definitely good to have a green screen. It's definitely good, especially if you have an area where you can't really showcase the background. It's definitely good to have. So pretty much, okay, this is going to be something that we're going to do every single week. So if it was your first time here, the best thing you can do to show your appreciation is just simply like. If you just met my content for the first time, subscribe. Not really looking for those things. I'm really on here just to really try to engage with you guys. And then, like I said, this is the second week of the show. So going forward, I think that I'm going to make it very more interactive to where I even want to do some channel reviews. So probably once a month, we'll do a channel review live stream where we can go through, look at your, like I can look at your stream, look at your channel, provide you some recommendations to be able to set yourself apart and things of that sort, and provide you insight like that. Even look at your social media, see how you can do that better. And I think we can spend a live doing that at least once a month. And then the other 3 lives that we do for the month, we can have you guys come in here, because literally for me to get you on the show, all I got to do is send you a link. You click it. If you're on your phone, it pops up, your camera comes up, and you're good to go. And you can literally talk and we engage. And then, you can ask your question live. And I think that would be a great way to create some engagement. All right. Aaron, what's going on? The level of your communication is awesome. Perfect example of what I need to be. Awesome, man. I'm hyped. Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. We gotta keep getting better, right? There's always room for improvement for myself, just as like everybody else. So we just be out here. Let's try to keep growing. Let's take this day and stay motivated. Understand that you're 100% capable of doing anything that you want to. It's all about your mindset. And I'm gonna always say this to you, that it's always about your mindset. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So either way, you're right. So understand that. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, this week, focus on one skill to try to be better. think of your questions and understand that if you guys want to be on the live show, send me a message, send me a DM. Let's set up a time. Let's bring you on here and let people know who you are, right? It's not only going to give you exposure to your stream, to your brand, but it also allows you to share your insight and get a little bit more comfortable engaging with people. So I'm really excited for the direction of where this is going, and I hope to see you guys next week. Enjoy your day. You guys know the motto: hustle, live, repeat. Appreciate y'all. Peace.